Yo, what's up, guys? It's Bronze Age Midget. It's the Will to Power podcast. So today we're going to switch it up. Normally I talk mostly about politics, mostly about the state of the world and potential solutions. Today I want to put all of that on the shelf and make a broad assumption. The assumption is there is no solution. There's no big solution. The world's going to hell. There's nothing you can do about it. So that raises the natural question of, well, then what? What to do? And that's the topic of this podcast. It's about thriving in the decline, uncucking your life, and basically seizing control of those things you have a little bit of power over in order to create the biggest advantage for yourself, the most optionality, and the most successful and fulfilling life. So there's really like 7-8 things. The first one is looks maxing. The second one is learning game. The third one is getting your money right. Fourth one is geomaxing. Fifth one is having skills, learning skills. The sixth one is having a mission. And the last one is being prepared to defend yourself. So let's get right into it. So the first way to thrive in the decline, the world's going to shit, what can you do about it? How can you have the most successful life? Is to fix the way you look. Most people have almost everybody has some problems with the way they look. And that's fine, but you don't want to be in the bottom 50% or even really the bottom 80%. With everything, you want to be in the top 20%. So the way you fix your looks, the first aspect of that is fitness, right? If you're a man and you're not exercising, then you are, you're fucked in the head. I don't care what kind of exercise it is. Needs to be something. Could be jogging, could be lifting, could be doing MMA, yoga, something. You need to be doing something with your body. There's no excuse other than you being a bug man and a cuck for not being physical at all. Having good fitness is going to accomplish a lot of things for you. First of all, people are just going to treat you better, right? Nobody respects fat people. Nobody. Like, they might make this big dog and pony show about body positivity, yada, yada, yada. But that's for fat chicks, right? Nobody cares about fat dudes. The only people who care about fat dudes are other fat dudes. So get that fixed, right? And same thing if you're too skinny, put some muscle mass on. It's really simple. It's go to the gym, pick up heavy things, don't eat a bunch of shit, fix your diet. If you do need to put on weight, then probably the cheapest thing you can eat in terms of calories is Oreos. They also happen to be vegan, so they work for everything, right? If you are really dedicated to bulking right now, eat more. If you're dedicated to losing weight, eat less. Very simple. Cut out processed vegetable oils. That's another thing you can do. It'll also help you clear up your skin. So that's basically fitness. Find an exercise, make yourself enjoy it, and do it consistently. Not hard. A good indicator of this is, so if your body is metabolizing fat, if you're burning fat, it will be expelled from your body it's mainly expelled through carbon dioxide, right? Fats are carbon based. When you break them down, one of the major byproducts is carbon dioxide. You're exhaling that. So if you're exhaling a lot, breathing heavily, you're burning more fat. Same thing, sweat. If you're sweating, you're burning more fat. It's not hard to figure out. Next one is style. Style is one of those things it's going to vary by person, vary by age, vary by subculture, things like that. But you need to look like a person. It varies so much, but I would say for the purposes of game, you need to look like the sort of guy that the kind of girl you want to fucks. Sounds complicated, but it's really not. Most of style is also having clothes that fit. You don't need to chase after different fashions. I don't use the word fashion for a reason, because every fashion is not for every person. Not every person, in fact, needs to be fashionable, especially as a man. But you do need to have a little bit of style. Next part of looks maxing is hygiene. This one's really simple too, but a lot of guys aren't on it. Like, if you have a scruffy beard and shit, like, I don't even know what to tell you, because that's so far gone from what looks good that you almost need somebody to take you by the hand at that point and tell you exactly what to do. But scruffy beard has to go. Trim it, shave it, do something. Neck hair has to go. Ear hair has to go. All of that shit. You need to be groomed. You need to look presentable, unless you're literally trying to bang homeless chicks. In that case, don't worry about it. Next, and again, like, people treat you better when you have good hygiene, right? People perceive it. They might not consciously perceive it, but they perceive it and they respond to it. So the more hygienic you are, and I'm not saying be totally, as a man, you don't have to be so prissy about it, but you do still need to have hygiene. You don't need to venture off into, being gay territory with it, but, still be clean. The next two are pretty simple. These are more behavioral. This is eye posture, or eye contact and posture. So standing up straight, yet relaxed, maintaining strong eye contact when you're talking to someone, but then also when you're not looking around the room and fishing for eye contact, because that's a very low value, low status signal. Always fishing for eye contact from strangers. So don't do that. I always have a rule. If I'm not going to talk to a girl, then I don't look at her. I'll check her out for a quick glance to see if she's even pretty, but if she's not, or if I'm not in this right situation, or for whatever reason I'm not going to approach her, I don't look at her. Why would I? Yeah. So that goes into looks maxing. The next one is learning how to be successful with women. This is hugely important. And I don't know what is up with the right now, where they have this weird fetish of tradconism, where it's like, oh, I'm a 20-year-old virgin, as if that's something to be proud of as a man, right? There's nothing to be proud of. As a man, you should be trying to fuck hot women, at least when you're young. So most of game, okay, there's going to be a lot of guys out there that try to sell you programs about game. Most of game comes down to understanding and applying human and female psychology and reading body language. That's it. And then having balls, right? A woman already has one pussy, she doesn't want another. There you go. I just taught you everything you needed to know about game right there. Not really. But a lot of it, like I said, is understanding human psychology, becoming intriguing, becoming fun, those sorts of things. Making yourself the prize, letting her chase you a little bit is also very big. If you're always the one pursuing her, then it's very one-sided. Even if you do manage to get with her, it's still going to maintain that one-sidedness. Not going to be good. So don't do that. Next one is getting your money right? You can thrive during the decline to a great deal if you have an income that's coming in that is location independent. You don't have to go into a corporate job or bow down to HR, or you're not stuck to a business where you can't leave and you could be canceled. You could have rioters come and destroy your business. So you need money coming in that's hard to cancel and that you can make from anywhere. And that's what you want. That's the gold tier. If you're just living off investments, that's even better. So figure out streams of income that you don't have to work for somebody else, and that hopefully you can do from anywhere around the world, and then while you're also investing, and then that money will be coming in. So that's getting your money right. And when you have money, you can do so many things, right? People say money doesn't make you happy. Bullshit. That's like the biggest cope in the world. You can definitely be happy without money, but you have a lot more options in life with money. You have a lot more things you can do. You can be a lot more independent. So that's the sort of things that money will bring you. And then again, like status, respect, women, those come much easier with money. Now, don't make the mistake of spending a lot of money on women, because that's no good as well. They'll disappear as soon as you quit spending money on them. You want them to be with you because you're fun, because they like spending time with you, because you have good D game, things like that, not because you're taking them out to dinner every day. every time they see you. You're not just the free meal ticket. And that will happen, right? You'll think, if you're spending money on a chick every time you see her, you might think she likes you, but really you're just literally free food for her. So keep that in mind if you are doing game and money maxing at the same time. Use the money to buy logistics. Live at a nice place. And that's the next thing I'm going to get into is geomaxing. Right? You don't have to live you better not be living in the town you were born in. If you're living in the town you were born in, I don't know why you're listening to this podcast, quite honestly, unless you're like 15. But you can even move out of the country, right? A lot of times you'll find better opportunities in other places. Other places are often cheaper. The United States and England are fucking expensive, mostly because you have a bunch of white-collar bureaucrats and parasites skimming off the top. Legalized extortion through different layers of rent that you're paying in the form of prices. So if you can go to a place like Mexico or Romania or Thailand and everything's a half the price or a quarter of the price, then your money's going to go much further and you're going to have a better lifestyle. Also in terms of women, right? Something like 80% of American females are overweight or obese. I don't fuck fat chicks. So I would have a very terrible time in Iowa, Wisconsin, or something like that. Every girl is fat. It's just a terrible place to be if you're trying to get laid with hot chicks. So you can go to countries where women are more feminine, where they are fitter, where they're not as insufferable feminists and sluts. And then you have much better options. Also, your value's a little bit higher because they're not brainwashed into thinking men are evil. Of course, if you're a woman and you think men are evil and men are trash, well, guess what? The only men you hang out with are, in fact, trash because real men wouldn't tolerate your ugly ass and your terrible attitude. So, go to a place with women who are pleasant, I would say, and go to a place where you can stretch your money further. And then in that way, too, you can also go to a place with less technological infrastructure, which isn't as equipped to carry out the programs of the Homo Globo or the Globo Homo, right? Not surveillance everywhere you go, not endless regulations, policing your every behavior, taxing you for everything you want to do. So it's a good idea to escape to a different country if you want to thrive in the decline. The next one is just learning skills, right? Fairly simple. Learn productive skills that you can leverage into income. So things like coding or even like learning a second language, a third language can be very beneficial to you. Again, it's all about optionality. It's about having the ability to do things that other people can't. That's how you thrive. That's how you have status in the world. So having those skills that you can make you money is huge. And it takes time to develop, but you need to be doing it now. Don't wait to dig the well for when there's a drought. Start learning the skills now, and then you'll be able to leverage them in the future. Maybe if you're 15, 16, 17, 18 now and you work at Cheesecake Factory, yeah, your life sucks. But if you're learning a skill, you're, getting the minimum number of certificates and degrees that you need in the world, well then when you're 21, 22, okay, you can take that to Colombia and you can work online. And now you're surrounded by Colombian hotties, good weather, your money goes further, you don't have a bunch of she-boons around you mucking up the place. You don't have a bunch of low-T leftists telling you to whatever, their weird program of trying to gaslight you into fucking trannies. A lot better in Colombia, homeboy. But you need the skills and you need all that stuff to get there. So yeah, that's skills maxing. Next one is mission maxing, right? Have a mission in life. And you don't need a mission in life. You don't need one overarching mission, but at each moment of your life, you need to have goals and you need to have bigger things you're working towards. And that's what having a mission is. And this will help you in so many other ways. Like with game, right? If you don't have other shit you're doing, if you're only going after women, well, then you're going to look like a desperate dude who's only going after women. If you have other things going on in your life, maybe you're really into comedy and you do the open mic comedy twice a week. Or you're really into, I don't know, even if it's gay, like gaming, right? You're a fucking professional gamer. Well, now you're a professional gamer and it's better than being a nobody. So having these things that you're doing that makes you less available also makes you more valuable. And that's something to keep in mind. And it's just good for your psychology, right? When you're doing the things you want to do, rather than like you have things you want to do and you're telling yourself you can't do them, you're going to be in a much better place mentally. And that's what this is all about, right? Thriving in the decline. So the next thing is, this last one, also very important, is learning to defend yourself. And this comes down to learning self-defense, right? Learning something like boxing or kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA, BJJ, although I'm not huge into that one. Getting comfortable in dangerous situations, right? If you're going to Colombia, it's not necessarily going to be as safe as Longmont, Colorado, or something like that. So you need to have situational awareness. You need to be comfortable in conflicts, and the only way you get that again is through training. Right? You don't rise to the level of your hopes. You sink to the level of your training. So if you've never been in a fight, then you're probably pretty useless in a fight, quite honestly. So it's something to consider, right? If the world is going to shit, and if you plan on thriving in it, then you better be able to handle a little bit of stress. You better be able to handle some tense situations as you're making your journey throughout the world. So that's basically it. There's one other thing I wanted to point out, and it goes along with money maxing and geo-maxing, and that is, if you make enough money, if you have enough money, you can literally buy passports in other countries. You can have passports in multiple countries, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 countries, and then you can go to one of those countries and legally change your name. And then all of a sudden you're 2 people. So think about the optionality that provides you. That's what I'm talking about here. That's how to thrive in the decline. And I understand some people might hear this and they'll be like, oh, that's not TradCon. You're talking about game, blah, 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 degeneracy, blah, 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 blah. You gotta save the homeland. But again, this is all predicated on the notion that is not an option, right? If you want to have a family, but understand that your options are going to be severely limited. And your notion of thriving in the decline is going to be having a homestead in Montana or somewhere in the desert. And that's fine. That kind of sounds cool. But if you're not in that position, and if you're not inclined towards that direction, there's other things you can do to still have a good life. And that's what they are. Things like making money, gaining skills, getting fit, having good personal skills, game, things like that. And that will take you pretty far in life. You'll be able to outrun the globo homo to some extent. You'll be like a modern pirate or frontiersman. The real American explorers today, they don't live in the United States. They've all gone abroad. So I'm going to leave you with that. And if you guys have any other ideas about how to thrive in the decline, I'd love to hear them in the comments. I will catch you next time. Peace.